Good, bright, shiny morning to you. Here I am, wet hair and all. You've seen worse. Okay, so let's keep talking about time. I'm having so much fun with it. Yesterday, I shared with you the concept of the blanket that is all of your lifetimes, the quilt, not the blanket, the quilt. So it's made of squares, patches, each patch being a lifetime. And it just all depends on our perspective. As long as we stay in 3D, we're stuck down at the level of the quilt, and we're like a little bitty person, we're not very tall at all. And it takes quite a while even to walk across one square, one lifetime. And so we're denied the view from above. But now that we're stepping up into 4D, and now that we're rising, ascending into light, it's different. We're stepping up above duality and polarity. And now we're able to look down and see, oh my gosh, there's all my lifetimes there. And they're all current, each and every minute. Think of your first kiss. Think of the greatest joy you ever had. That's still alive. That's happening now. And it will always be. It just is. And so there's a great joy. Anything, any records, these are records. Anything where there was pain, where there was suffering, that is being transmuted. As the fires of higher frequency pass through it, it's changed. And the suffering goes away. It's not because mentally we're above it now and we look down and we understand and we see how it fits into the pattern and all of that. That's a mental way of approaching this. This must be approached from the heart if you want the full experience of it. I know there are blessings and benefits, even just from a mental level, but I am so not there, my friends. So if you want to follow me, always be in your heart. So the wending and the winding and the twists and the turns, as we look at our quilt, as we look at those patches, those squares, those whatever shapes they are down there, because you're all so creative, I'm sure they're not all just squares. We see certain patterns of repetition. There are bigger patterns. There are the patterns within each square. And then there are the sections and the regions. There are bigger patterns there. We see things we've been repeating. Sometimes we get stuck for quite a number of lifetimes because we didn't pass a certain test. We didn't understand. Remember now, always cut yourself tremendous slack. You did the best you could. You're doing the best you can. Be gentle with self. Love is the answer. Love is the key that unlocks every door here. All right? And if you can't love the self, well, you're not in the heart. So there. All right. Okay, now let's take it a step up higher. Why not? We're all one, right? Yeah, some of you know where I'm going. You can see it already. Your quilt is one square in a bigger quilt. Do you see it? One cosmic square. We're all linked up, we're all joined up, we're all bound together. Now this is still kind of linear, all right? A quilt is a very, linear thing. It's got your XY grid there, and that's about all. But it still works. It still works. And it's fractal. Can we make it a fractal quilt? Not necessarily. Quilts don't do that. I don't know. I don't know. Use your own imagination. But we are indeed all linked up together. And that's just our 3D journey. That's just one level. All right? You are fully conscious on higher dimensions. You have a higher self that has full integrity, has full awareness as the higher self, and that's making decisions for you. You wonder sometimes why it is you have to go around not knowing what's up ahead. And then you run into some devastating thing in your lifetime, and maybe you get angry with God for not giving you a heads up that this was coming, or for letting it come. And we get into all these convoluted pieces of nonsense, because in the end, that's what they are. They're mental streams that we're following, and it's polluted water. It's not pure at all. But cut yourself slack. We've been corralled in there. All right, this is the way we've been taught, trained, programmed, everything else. So how else could it be? All right, how else could it be? You've done your best. Be gentle with yourself. But now we're rising above. We're awakening. And I hope you've noticed that it's not awakening to brand new things. There's a certain sense that you always knew this. It was always there. I'm well aware, even though I only recently entered heart in such a way that I can stay there and I can listen and I can, wherever I go, you know, I worked pretty hard to get my focus to where it was central that way. And so now I can hear guidance and intuition really well. But it doesn't tell me everything. And I didn't have it before. And I know how does it say, we kick against the pricks? I forget. Shakespeare's always got the best way to say whatever it is, you know, he's managed to say it. It's important. It's important that the 3D aspect of us know things in a certain order and not ahead of time and not behind time. And it's not that you're being jerked around by this. You're doing the jerking, dear. It's you in your higher level of being, in your higher consciousness. I've got a feeling free will resides up a good bit higher than 3D. Now, don't quote me on this, or I'm not saying I know this, but I'm pretty suspicious that the big decisions in life are made up there. Yeah, they are. They just are. And this is a play that we're in. And higher self is controlling also what you know and don't know, what you come into and when, who you encounter and when. Sometimes we get so locked up in all these conspiracies, and even though that word has been mucked up a bit, it's really true. They conspire, you know, they get together against us. That's what it is. But even so, it's a great big nothing. It's a great big zero, a naught. N-A-U-G-H-T and N-O-T. It's also a K-N-O-T. It's nothing. It's no thing. It's minuscule next to the light being that you are. It's a game that we're playing here. So my suggestion is to try to surrender all resentment at life, at God, and most of all, at yourself. You know, it's really important to quit beating yourself up. Only as you step into true love for yourself can you really deeply step into heart, because that's the truth of things. True deep love is the reality for everybody, everything, everywhere, all that is. And if you want to join up with that reality, find your way into love with yourself. It's really important. Okay, have I shared all that I can? All that's here? I guess I have. Have a blessed day.